In Adventure Time, Finn the human is a great hero, but even he has someone he looks up to. The man simply called Billy, an ancient hero who fought the Lich King, a bear, and even the ocean. Stories of Billy's triumphs are what inspire Finn as he fights evil alongside Jake. That said, some of you may not know that in the quote-unquote original timeline of the comics, Finn became that hero himself. We have already seen Old Man Finn in Distant Lands, who respectfully looks much more disappointing than the one that we see in the comics. A lot of people doubt the canonicity of the comics, understandably so, but this arc has been one of my favorite ones so far, and it was nice to see Finn embodying the will of Billy. The arc starts in the 31st chapter of the original Adventure Time comics. Princess Bubblegum and Marceline have passed their driving exams at the school where we teach you to drive like way better, and receive their licenses from Car V, Mudflap, and Auto V Plate Sticker. Even though they've been driving a long time without them, they just want the police from other kingdoms to stop hassling them. Right as Princess Bubblegum thinks of an idea they can do with their licenses, the comic is interrupted by an alien. The alien, calling himself the Nemanoid, claims to have taken over the reader's mind and is projecting his image over an allegedly blank page. After introducing himself, he lets the reader return to reading the comic but promises that they'll meet again. On the next page, Princess Bubblegum and Marceline have constructed a racetrack for them to compete on, after having an argument about it on the previous page. Meanwhile, Finn and Jake are at the tree fort, preparing to eat an everything burrito until Princess Bubblegum and Marceline veer off track and crash through their wall. Bubblegum and Marceline explain that they just got their license and bought cars to celebrate. This causes Finn and Jake to reminisce about the time they fixed a truck with Banana Man. Princess Bubblegum and Marceline offer to take them for a ride, but they decline in order to finish their burrito. After Bubblegum and Marceline leave, Finn muses on getting a license when he's older while getting ice cream for Jake. Ice King then bursts through the roof, shouting about getting payback on the two. After they subdue the Ice King, he explains that they had offended him by not coming to his birthday party. Finn and Jake never received the invitation. As an impromptu birthday gift, they give him a note saying happy birthday, much to Ice King's glee. At that point, the Nemanoid bursts in, declaring he's going to steal from Finn and uses his psychic powers to restrain everyone but Finn. Luckily, Princess Bubblegum and Marceline race in and land their cars on him. Unfortunately, the Nemanoid uses his powers to push the cars off him and grabs Finn to take what he wants. Finn then wakes up in his bed to find that 5 years have passed. Finn is shocked by his aging after 5 years, and Jake tries to console him, also showing Finn's arsenal of prosthetic arms. We see many interesting versions of his arm, such as shark arm, trump arm, witch arm, mace arm, skelly arm, lobster arm, leg arm, multi-arm, balloon arm, candy arm, ghost arm, and my favorite, element arm. The latter one has the most interesting design in my opinion. We can see one of the Ice King's jewels and 2 other gems, which makes you wonder what could be the final form of this arm. The fact that we cannot see it makes me think that it changes its design and is based on the gem that Finn might use while using it. However, Finn chooses the most basic, the prosthetic arm. Even after seeing his arm on, he still feels something is wrong, so Jake shows him to Bubblegum, Marceline, and Bimo outside. When Bubblegum hears that Finn can't remember the last 5 years, she and Marceline make a comic to explain. The Nemanoid apparently tried to eat Finn's head, so the others beat him up and throw him in Castle Lemongrab. Bubblegum later researched and found that the Nemanoid eats memories. She ran tests on Finn and thought he was fine, but the effect was actually time delayed. Everyone decides to give Finn a tour of Ooh and also get his memories back. Using Bimo's giant robot legs, they show him the things that changed. The Candy Kingdom is now the Candy/Vampire Kingdom. The Ice Kingdom is more metallic. The Fire, Water, Air, and Sand Kingdoms are fighting. Lumpy Space is lumpier, and the Breakfast Kingdom is now the Brunch Kingdom. It also turns out that Finn has dated a lot of people. Suddenly, the Nemanoid appears and restrains everyone with telekinetic fields. He tells Finn his memories were delicious, recalling his favorite one where Finn defeats a giant slug monster. He wants more, but Jake frees himself with his stretchy powers and punches him. Marceline attacks, but the Nemanoid restrains her and everyone else again. He then pulls out the Lich minion Jake ate, which never got digested, back in the Lich's dungeon, which attacks Jake. With no one able to do anything, the Nemanoid starts to eat Finn's memories again, but they claim they will cure him. Finn then wakes up to find he is even older and married to Flame Princess. Finn and Flame Princess, now Flame Queen, are traveling via a platform as he tells her what the Nemanoid did to him. A concerned Flame Queen tells Finn that this was 20 years ago and shows him the now devastated Ooh. She explains that the Air, Water, and Desert Kingdoms caused it. They reach the Candy/Vampire Kingdom where a meeting is held, including Queens Bubblegum and Marceline, the Brunch Kingdom Queens and Jake. Finn tells them that the Nemonoid ate his memories again and asks them to fill him in. Stunned, Bubblegum and Marceline declare that they're doomed. They tell Finn that yesterday he told them he found a way to end the war and was going to tell them the plan today. Finn is surprised that a war is going on, as Flame Queen didn't have time to tell him. Marceline thinks they can trigger his memory by getting him up to speed, so Bubblegum uses a brain projection device she made in place of a comic, though subconscious images still appear. Using baby versions of Finn and Jake, she demonstrates that playful punching can lead to brawls between friends, which is basically where the kingdoms are. Marceline then takes over, showing the Desert Princess annexed the Water and Air Kingdoms to form the Mud Kingdom 6 months ago. By dominating and taking magic from other kingdoms, they grew stronger, even blocking out the sun with sand. Unfortunately, Finn can't remember anything from this. While the others are resigned to losing, Finn does remember that his friends wouldn't just give up. Jake agrees and thinks they should try asking the Nemonoid to return the memories. Bubblegum thinks it's ridiculous, but Jake says that they're stronger now than they were 20 years ago. They also point out that Finn's memories could restore peace, giving the other kingdoms reason to help. With everyone on board, they go out to recruit others, starting with Ice King, who brings along Bimo and some penguins. After recruiting several others, they are ready to face the Nemonoid, only to realize they don't know where he is. Outside the comic panel, the Nemonoid says that's his cue and enters. As he does, Mud Kingdom troops begin to invade. The Nemonoid appears to everyone and states that he will keep Finn's memories, also advising they all leave. He traps them with his telekinesis when they refuse, so they enact their plan. Jake shapeshifts to get out and Marceline tackles the Nemonoid, freeing everyone else. She and Jake then merge together. Jake hits the Nemonoid and Marceline throws the other queens and princesses, who also hit him, bringing him to the ground. Bubblegum demands he return Finn's memories or else they keep fighting. The Nemonoid refuses and uses telekinesis to not only trap them again, but also move the sand in the sky, letting sunlight through and killing Marceline. The ones guarding Finn try to fight the Nemonoid off, but are easily pushed aside. Finn's memories are eaten again, and he wakes up an elderly man in snowy mountains. Just look at the design of this elderly Finn. He looks far more legendary than the one that we see in the distant lands. A hero who has successfully replaced Billy as Oo's legendary hero. Compared to him, Show Finn looks way more disappointing. This Finn has a very interesting crown or band like Billy. However, there's a difference between their bands. Billy, both the Prime one and Farm World one, had a blue gem at nose height, while Finn has a red gem similar to Ice King's gem on his forehead, making it look like some kind of crown. However, I doubt that it really is Ice King's jewel, but it's still a fun possibility. Another distinction of this Finn compared to others is his giant sword, which I assume most likely has some magical properties, and if we look closely, the cloak that he's wearing seems to be made out of bear, which means that just like his hero Billy, he has fought a bear as well. This design makes him look like a giant Viking hero, even though he most likely is just as tall as the other Finn, but as you can see, the design has a lot of effect on how people perceive you. Anyway, an elderly Finn realizes that the Nemonoid ate his memories again, but is pretty sure he knows how to beat him. He then does the "it's adventure time" bit by himself since he's alone. He packs up his stuff and surmises that he is in the Ice Kingdom, but sees that it's actually the Candy Kingdom. Finn enters the castle and finds Bubblegum sitting alone in the dark. He tells her that he lost his memories and that he has a way to stop the Nemonoid for good, but she tells him to leave. She goes on to explain that whatever plan he thought of was attempted many times. Nothing worked and much was lost. She starts pushing him out the door, but Finn asks her to listen. He says they just need to learn how to beat the Nemonoid. Bubblegum isn't amused, so Finn whispers his plan in her ear and she is renewed with hope. They head to the lab, though Bubblegum still seems saddened over Marceline's death. Anyway, weeks later, Finn and Bubblegum find the Nemonoid using his telekinesis to make a shelter in the shell. Finn says they came to talk and not fight, but the Nemonoid is uninterested and attacks them. As they fight, Finn asks why the Nemonoid eats memories, who replies that he does it for sustenance. He says that what he actually eats are stories and that memories are an easy way to get them. After hearing this explanation, Bubblegum sends a swarm of robots to attack the Nemonoid, who easily stops them. This is actually a distraction for Finn to use his concealed time machine arm. Bubblegum explains that Finn and Jake had an adventure with her time machine which self-destructed. With the plans for it long gone, Finn used her brain projector to show them to her. They then travel back to 60 years ago. Back at the events of issue 31, Finn and Jake are talking about driving when future Finn and future Bubblegum arrive. The two Finns, excited at meeting each other, do the Adventure Time bit together. Future Bubblegum introduces themselves to Jake and asks Bimo to call Lumpy Space Princess and Marceline. Ice King bursts in, upset about his birthday being forgotten, but stops in confusion upon seeing the future pair. Future Finn asks him to sit quietly and wishes him a happy belated birthday. LSP then comes in through the hole Ice King made. The Nemonoid shows up to steal Finn's memory, memories, but gets slightly confused at seeing future Finn. Future Finn then asks what Melissa said to Corey last night, making LSP go off on an endless story involving several people, which the Nemanoid finds perfect. He apologizes for trying to take Finn's memory, saying LSP's stories are better. Future Bubblegum reminds him to talk with LSP when he's hungry. Princess Bubblegum and Marceline then crash into the room in their cars, and Future Bubblegum hugs them out of joy. With the timeline change, the future pair starts to fade out of existence. Future Finn tells his past self how to avoid the bad events he went through, and Future Bubblegum whispers something to her past self and Marceline, which stuns the both of them. The future pair are gone, and the Nemanoid and LSP are still talking. Jake asks Finn what Future Finn told him. Finn says he was told stuff that can easily be avoided and or fixed, but was also told to not worry about things changing. What really matters is what happens right now. Bubblegum and Marceline ask them if they want to go driving, to which Finn says yes. The four of them, along with BMO and Ice King, go drive their cars off the ramp. The Nemanoid and LSP are still in the kitchen and getting along, then Finn crashes in with a car, saying that he doesn't know what he's doing. Later that night, the Nemanoid leaves the tree fort, which now has several cars rammed into it. He notices the reader and tells them that the story has ended, but still tries to tell them parts from LSP's story. This version of Finn has made his little cameo before its proper debut in Chapter 25, where we can see an even older version of him who has a treasure in his box. It seems like this is the way Finn from the original comics is going to be, and to be honest, his evolution in the comics looks far more badass and more suitable for the legendary hero of Ooh compared to the one that we see in the show. Hope we'll someday see this version of Finn again, if not in the show, at least in the comics. What do you think about this Finn? How strong could he be? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.